Chapter 9. Essential things you should do after launching your blog. Launching your WordPress blog isn't the end of the journey, it's just the start. So, you've just launched your new WordPress blog, and a desire to expand your blog, business, portfolio, or anything else you're working on. Right? If you answered yes, you'll need to perform a few things to get your site or blog ready for the public. Do it quickly. Because thousands of new blogs appear on the internet every day, so you have to make sure that right from the start, your website stands out and shines. We've compiled a list of the most important things you should do shortly after creating a new WordPress site or blog. 1. Crawling, rendering, and indexing. That is submitting websites to search engines. Why submit your website to search engines? Directly inform search engines about your website. By submitting your site via the methods listed below, you may provide Google and others with valuable information about your site, namely content updates and significant modifications. It's a simple way to improve your website. Simply by submitting your site, you gain access to a variety of tools that can help you improve it. You can also let them know that the content has been updated and needs to be crawled again. Make use of an XML sitemap. Is an XML sitemap still required for Google to identify your site's URLs in the age of mobile-first indexing and AMP? Yup, indeed. According to a Google representative, XML sitemaps are the second most essential source for locating URLs. The free Yoast SEO WordPress plugin is the simplest method to create a sitemap. http://yoururl.com/sitemap. Index.xml is a sitemap produced with Yoast SEO. This plugin will be useful for your SEO and as well as for crawling the blog. In the Yoast SEO plugin settings, you can edit your sitemap. There are other ways to create your own website sitemap if you don't want to utilize the Yoast SEO plugin, such as the Google XML Sitemaps plugin. Then, under Crawl, Sitemaps, join up for Google Search Console. It's free, and submit your sitemap URL to Google. Add your sitemap to Google Search Console. Select Sitemaps from the Index section of Google Search Console. All you have to do now is paste your sitemap URL and press Submit. If you have more than one sitemap, simply repeat the process until all of your sitemaps appear in the Submitted section. To achieve this, you'll need to have added and confirmed your site in GSC. Submit a page URL to Google. But what if you only want to submit a single page to Google? This is also pretty easy. Go to URL Inspection in Search Console and paste the URL of the page you wish to index. If the page isn't indexed, GSC will tell you that the URL isn't on Google. Simply click Request Indexing to get it crawled. If the page has been indexed, you will receive the following message: URL is on Google. If you've recently updated content and want Google to recrawl the page, you can request indexing by clicking on the Request Indexing button. How can you know if your page is listed in Google? Simply type your website's address into Google to discover if it has been successfully submitted and indexed. Your site will appear in the search results if Google has crawled and indexed it. You can search for quotation marks by copying a paragraph or two of text from your website. It should appear if your page is listed on Google. Another option is to utilize Google's search operator, command, cite. Simply type, cite:/www. Your website.com only results from the domain you entered will be displayed by Google. On your site's homepage or internal pages, you can use the cite search operator. How do I submit my website to Yahoo? So, this is the simplest one. To get your website listed on Yahoo, you must first submit it to Bing. That wasn't a mistake. When you submit your website to Bing, it is also submitted to Yahoo automatically. What is the best way to submit my website to Bing? To begin, navigate to Bing Webmaster Tools. You'll want to double-check that it's set up correctly for your website. Submitting your sitemap in Bing is as simple as it is in Search Console. Simply select Sitemaps from the menu, enter your sitemap URL, and click Submit. This will submit your website to both Bing and Yahoo, as they are both powered by Bing's index. What is the process for submitting a website to DuckDuckGo? The short answer here is, you don't. DuckDuckGo scans the web automatically, so you don't have to submit your website manually. In reality, it uses over 400 sources, including Bing's search results, So if you followed the preceding steps to submit your site to Bing and Yahoo, you've done everything you need to speed up indexing on DuckDuckGo. 2. Set up Google Analytics for your website. Google Analytics is a tool that every website owner should use to track and market their site. Google Analytics is a free tool that tracks your audience and their activities on your site in order to provide accurate information about everything related to your site's content and visitors, such as number of daily visits, most visited pages, conversion rates, bounce rates, information on your visitors and how they behave on your site, user profiles that are in-depth, as well as lots of other essential statistics, etc. 3. Check your site's speed. One of the most important aspects of search engine rankings is site speed. It's not only about pleasing Google. People hate having to wait. They will abandon a website that takes more than 3 seconds to load. As a result, you must make your website lightning fast and boost its speed. Check your site's loading speed, optimize images, and search for ways to make it faster. There are numerous solutions available to help you speed up your website. Use such tools to test and analyze the speed of your website, resulting in faster loading times. Example tools: Pingdom, GTmetrix, Google PageSpeed Insights, etc. 4. Reply to comments, but ignore the haters. The majority of the time, if there's one thing that all bloggers have in common, regardless of whether they're new to blogging or not, it's this: angry comments. Even if you want to learn how to build a blog dedicated solely to cute pups, I'm virtually certain you'll get furious comments from individuals who, "I believe you've forgotten about the prettiest doggy on the planet. I don't believe any of the puppies you posted are really cute." However, as YouTube indicates, nasty comments are an unavoidable consequence of putting yourself out there on the internet. You will get them, and they will sting, if you let them. You must build a thicker skin. The majority of the time, these comments are simply useless people who have chosen to remain anonymous. You may occasionally receive a comment with a legitimate critique that you should address. However, what about the vast majority of the time? Angry comments pass through one ear and out the other. 5. Create an email list from the beginning, and don't forget to offer them stuff. Creating a freebie will make it easier for you to gain subscribers, because they will be more enticed to sign up for your newsletter as a result of the freebie. Because they've given you permission to inform them about the stuff you publish, your email subscribers are the most loyal. So send them an email and let them know. Set up daily or weekly mails to automate this process. You should start building an email list right away if you don't already have one. If you treat your email list properly, it will become your most important source of traffic and sales over time. Imagine this. You wake up, excited for the day. You put on a pot of coffee. While you're waiting for it to brew, you head into your home office to check your email. The email campaign you sent last night resulted in over $20,000 in sales. You get a cup of coffee and, while sipping it, compose another email to be sent out on schedule. Then you may go off and do anything you want, because your work for the day is done. That's the power of email marketing. Use tools like ConvertKit, a Weber for email marketing. 6. Establish a strong social media presence. It's time to ramp up your efforts now that you have a website to be proud of. Social networking may be a great way to stay in touch with your clients and bring them back to your website. Find the finest social media for your business in terms of engagement and conversions by doing some research. Consider the demographics and interests of your customer base, target audience, and buyer persons, as well as the findings of your social media audit, to determine which social media sites your business should use. 7. Schedule social sharing. The majority of people only share their articles once or twice after they've been published. However, after the first day, you should not stop sharing the content. More than likely, the article you created will be useful for at least the first week, if not longer. As a result, I suggest scheduling your postings months in advance. There are various tools or services available now that will allow you to do so. 8. Outreach or favors. Building healthy and mutually beneficial relationships is at the heart of blogging. You've undoubtedly formed some strong relationships with others in your niche if you've spent time reading, commenting on, and sharing other people's writings. Don't be scared to contact out and ask for a favor after you've published a really excellent work. They'll be happy to share the content with their followers if they respect your relationship. If you're just getting started, and aren't sure who to contact, try a tool like BuzzSumo to check who shared your competitor's content and find influencers on a certain topic. 9. Repurpose into other formats. After publishing the blog post, you should not leave it to die. Any post with a word count of more than 2,000 words can easily be repurposed into multiple formats to add value. How? You can use it as a video script, split it up and use it for a few shorter blogs, turn it into a podcast episode, convert it into an ebook, or checklist, or webinar, or downloadable PDF, and more. While repurposing takes time, the advantage is that the main subject matter is already developed. This simplifies the procedure and allows you to put your best effort forward. 10. Create Google Alerts to keep an eye on mentions. Google Alerts is a fantastic tool. Let's pretend you're fascinated by all things related to the term laptop. If that's the case, you'll probably be interested in learning about any new page that pops up on Google that deals with this topic. However, you won't be able to monitor the entire internet. It's a big area. This is where Google Alerts comes in handy. Google Alerts will send you notifications whenever a new web page with terms you're interested in is published. Any web page that contains your keywords will be reported by Google. This allows you to stay ahead of the competition, while also keeping track on what people are saying about your website. It's a good idea to keep track of your website's name, your company's name, your personal name, and other relevant terms. It doesn't get much better than that when it comes to having your finger on the pulse. There are plenty of other tools for keeping track of your website's mentions. You can use RSS feeds from Yahoo Pipes, Twitter Search, and Google Blog Search, for example. 11. Create internal links to your blog posts. When it comes to links, you should take care of them on your own blog as well. Interlinking your blog content makes it easier for Google to index them, improves your search engine rankings, and keeps readers on your site. As a result, set aside 10 minutes to do an internal link audit. Examine other posts you've written, and see if you can include any links to your freshly published post in them. 12. To get the most out of your audience, include call to actions. When I was first learning how to build a blog, I made the mistake of not utilizing call to actions, CTAs. A call to action is anything you want your users to do. It could be anything as simple as signing up for a newsletter, reading another blog post, or purchasing something. Every single one of your posts should include a call to action, especially if you're just getting started with blogging. Every article should have an outcome, whether it's as simple as requesting a share, or a comment, or as sophisticated as making a purchase. You're missing out on tons of potential sales, leads, and traffic creation chances if your content doesn't have a CTA. I'm not implying that every post should aim to sell something. It only needs to provide a next step for your reader. 13. To 10 times your audience, use influencer marketing. Influencer marketing is a hugely underrated tactic. Influencers have gotten amazing outcomes in my experience. Bagot, for example, has several types of new bags which wanted to advertise. Within 2 days, their outreach program has generated 5 million social media impressions and a 2.8 million increase in their Twitter following. They aren't the only ones. Hundreds of companies have seen similar success. Note: use an influencer database to locate influencers in practically any niche who can help you promote your content. This is an excellent thing to learn as you begin your blog. 14. Share your content on a platform other than social media. Most people usually post their new blog article on social media when it goes live, but then they don't share it anywhere else. This is one of the huge mistakes people make when promoting their posts. What else can you do? We already talked about email outreach and working with influencers. But there's so much more work to be done. Here are the best places to share your new blog post. Niche-related forums, Quora. 15. A little bit of maintenance now saves from big problems later. Nobody likes performing maintenance. Maintenance does not contribute to the growth of your blog's content, audience, or revenue. So, what exactly is the point? Maintenance, while it may not do any of those things, keeps everything you've constructed from collapsing around you. I'm referring to items like keeping your software and plugins up to date, creating a backup of your website, and actually testing to make sure those backups work, making your database more efficient, examining for any broken links. It's time-consuming, but necessary. Hundreds of thousands of WordPress sites were recently hacked, as a result of a vulnerability that was patched before hackers discovered it. Hundreds of thousands of website owners, though, were hacked despite not updating their fundamental open-source WordPress software. A little simple maintenance now will prevent major issues in the future. If you don't want to do it yourself, there are a number of WordPress maintenance companies that will take care of it for you, for a charge. 16. To save time, include a FAQ section before your contact form. You set up a contact form when you first start a blog because you think it's something you'll need, even if you don't anticipate anyone to use it. Then, once your site begins to receive some traffic, someone fills out your form and sends you a message. Someone cares enough about your content to use your contact form. Then your blog continues to expand, and you're suddenly overwhelmed with messages, many of which are asking the same question. You've suddenly found yourself spending more time answering to emails than blogging. And that isn't a recipe for long-term success. What's more, guess what? By placing a FAQ, or something similar, above your contact page, you may at least avoid many of the most repetitious emails you receive. If your contact form plugin has conditional fields, you can use them to achieve a similar effect by asking users what their email is about, before allowing them to send it. 17. Conduct routine content audits. As much as I'd like to believe otherwise, not everything we publish is evergreen indefinitely. There are always fresh advancements, new ideas, new topics to write about, and new things that relate back to your prior work, regardless of your niche. The basic truth is that no one can foretell what will happen in the future. So, even if you believe the work you wrote will be timeless, because of the subject matter it addresses, this is merely a wish, and you can never be sure. As a result, doing regular content audits is a good idea, especially if your blog has been online for more than a year. This isn't something to be concerned about if you're just learning how to create a blog for the first time, but it's still something to consider. A content audit's purpose is simple and clear. Determine which of your postings are still relevant, which need upgrading, which can be removed entirely, and which can be consolidated. Begin by creating a spreadsheet with all of your articles. URLs are enough. Separate the spreadsheet into 3 parts. Keep and improve. Posts that are good on their own and still relevant may require some updating or expansion, new data, new insights. In other words, we are making them even better than they are now. Consolidate. Smaller posts that can be integrated into a larger one, resulting in a far more in-depth and comprehensive resource. Delete. Posts that are no longer relevant at this moment and can be removed totally. Think old sponsored posts, old news posts, reviews, or how-tos relating to things that are no longer around, accidental duplicate content, etc. Once you have those, you may start working on them in the following order. Delete content first, then consolidate, and last improve. When reading over the individual pieces of content, there are a few things you can do. When merging posts into larger resources, use 301 redirects. Create 410 status codes for permanently deleted content. When working on posts that you've decided to leave online, fix internal links. Make sure they also connect to your more recent articles. Internal links from older posts, of course, do not point to new content, because it was not available when the links were created. Use H1, H2, and bullet points to fix the formatting on your old stuff. Update the images on your top posts to make them more shareable on social media, and to meet the latest social media image criteria. Any of these things can be used. Yoast SEO plugin metrics should be fixed. Remove any links that are no longer active. Fix any difficulties with inline HTML. Wherever possible, include content upgrades. To make the entire site more uniform, update your tags and/or categories. If it makes sense, republish old content. Simply alter the publishing date to the present. When you repost, remove all comments. Doing an audit like this, and revitalizing old content demonstrates that you care about what visitors see when they visit your website and start reading something random. It's essentially a signal to Google that everything on your site is up to date, and hence deserves to rank. This may not seem important if you're just getting started with a blog, but it's actually preferable to start incorporating these strategies right away. This is how you'll get the most out of it over time. How often should the entire audit be performed? Once a year, at the most. However, there is one thing you should do more frequently. Update your content on a regular basis. 18. Go on a quest for juicy backlinks. You must help your content increase in Google's rankings if you want to gain as many eyes on it as possible. However, you'll need to show Google that your article is deserving of their coveted first page. Particularly, you'll need backlinks from high-quality sources in your niche. By association, this tells search engines that your article is also high quality. For more information on backlinks, refer Chapter 6, Off-Page SEO. 19. Make a monetization strategy. If you want to create a blog and make money, you'll need to have a solid monetization strategy. This should be planned ahead of time, so that your content marketing can support these objectives. If you already have a following, there are plenty of options for making revenue from your website's traffic. Blogging is a low-cost and simple way to earn money. If you don't yet have an audience, now is the time to establish your monetization approach, so that once you start generating visitors, earning money through advertisements or sponsored content will be much easier without having to pitch for sales. 20. Consistency is key. Blogging is a challenging but rewarding venture. If you pursue it honestly and work hard enough, a single blog can become your full-time job, especially with the growing popularity of blogging. Thousands of blogs are launched every minute, but the majority of them fail to make any money because they give up too soon or lack creativity in their posts. Consistency and quality content are two of the most important factors to consider if you want to be a successful blogger. You should work on it for a while, so that your readers can see that you are serious about making this happen. If they do, you'll never know how far blogging can take you.